Isn't that something?
I cannot believe this. I've never seen a winter like this here in the CSRA. And I would say this weekend, probably the best chance out of the last 3 weekends that we actually do see some winter weather. And luckily, it looks like snow.
Thankfully.
Last weekend, we were having to worry about the ice concerns. The weekend before that, it was mainly rain, snow. Maybe we see some flakes, not really any impacts. Well, now this coming up weekend is kind of mix of the last two. Maybe some impacts, but generally expecting this to be snowed. Luckily, not ice.
And that's a good thing. And to go along with it, we've already had one day this week where we had some brutal cold wind chill values. That's going to be another one too. So
yeah, Sunday morning, get ready, folks. It is extreme cold.
Yeah, I was kind of shaking my head at it, like this may not really be true, but I mean, we're going to get a good shock here. So we'll kind of start off here with these winter alerts. And Zoe, you can just kind of go ahead and take these full screen if you want to. We'll give back and forth. This is the winter storm watch. Went out about 2 a.m. this morning. This is going to start up on Friday night. And it's going to go through early Sunday afternoon because the after effects certainly will be with us. So that's kind of what the first alert weather days have entailed. The Saturday, Sunday. And we've kind of gotten a little bit of an estimate. I know that is a broad estimate of snow totals, but it really could vary across the entire viewing area. Obviously, extreme cold, and then travel's not definitely going to be something you're going to want to think about doing. If you do have those weekend plans, definitely for Saturday, Sunday, you might want to have alternative plans here. So, Riley, I'll let you kind of keep going on into this about the weekend, too.
Yeah, so for the winter storm watch, remember, a watch is placed before a warning. So the watch is letting you know, hey, we're anticipating a likelihood of winter weather to occur over the next couple of days. So I want to make sure you're aware of that. These will likely be upgraded to winter storm warnings tomorrow. And you can see it's a pretty broad time span, Friday night through Sunday afternoon. I think our best snow chances will be starting Saturday morning, lasting through Saturday night. But as Tim was mentioning, the impacts could definitely linger through at least Sunday afternoon, because Sunday morning, we're going to be dealing with extreme cold, wind chills down below 10 degrees. So earlier this week, this past Tuesday, we actually did have wind chill between 4 and 8 degrees in most spots across the CSRA. So we're expecting to get just as cold, possibly even a little bit colder. So that will allow that snow to stick around through Sunday, at least around midday. But by Sunday afternoon, we should be able to get above freezing. But you can see the risk that we are looking at. So moderate risk for snow, some road hazards, and that wind chill is elevated too. Luckily, not expecting a ton of sleet or freezing rain. This would be either a snow or no snow event. And right now it looks like it will be snow for us. This is our in-house model here, so now it goes out at least through Sunday morning. Here's a jump ahead to Saturday. So starting in our northern counties first, that's a consensus, is that north of I-20, you'll see the snow begin first early Saturday. This will just continue dropping south towards the I-20 corridor and going to spread across the region by the time we get to around lunchtime Saturday. So this is not necessarily a case to where we're expecting, say, just the Carolina side to see snow or just the Georgia side. This is most of the CSRA should be able to see snow out there during the day Saturday, and this will continue through the afternoon portions of our Saturday night. Notice our temperatures have been dropping through this event, so we start off in the mid-30s Saturday morning, and then by the time we get to the afternoon, we're in the mid-20s. These temps will continue to drop most likely to the teens by daybreak Sunday morning. We factor in some gusts, 20, 25 miles an hour. That's going to bring us the extreme wind chills down below 10 on the feels like scale. So impacts looking more and more likely heading into the weekend. We'll have more on kind of those snow totals across the region and what to exactly expect just after a short break. we're not necessarily seeing a ton of difference between the model runs. And I mean, they've been pretty consistent
they
the last
really
couple of
have.
days. So the confidence is there that we should see snow this weekend. And right now we're looking at totals most likely between that 2 to 5 range as we were showing in that graphic. But maybe some spots get a little bit more, maybe some a little bit less. But say if the model that we just showed you played out, our in-house IBM graph model, well, these are the snow totals it's projecting. Generally pretty widespread, 3 to 5 inches of snow. Maybe some spots in the northern CSRA like Saluda, McCormick, Edgefield, possibly up to a half foot. I would say the chance of seeing
You're saying a foot.
Half a foot.
We don't talk about feet here.
I know. I would say half a foot of snow is unlikely for most spots. Percentage chance less than 20%, but hey, not 0% chance.
Yeah, and those totals kind of come up talking about northeast of Columbia to Charlotte. If that's where you're headed, or you have family up in that area, that's where those totals really start jumping big time.
And I mean, even along the North Carolina coast, they have the potential to see blizzard conditions as that coastal low begins to bomb out. So, but one thing else about these snow totals that's interesting is that the air is going to be very, very dry as this is falling. So this is going to lead to most likely a very fluffy snow. Not necessarily a wet compacting snow that we could usually see here in the CSRA. So this may not necessarily be the best snow for building snowmen, packing snowballs, but this does lead to higher totals because it's fluffier and kind of has the better ability to kind of lead to maybe some of those higher totals. So a good rule of thumb here in the South is that you take how much rain you're expecting from the system and multiply it by 10. So say you're expecting 1/10 of an inch of liquid equivalent rainfall, well, that would equal to about 1 inch of snow. In this case, it could actually be more of like maybe a 30-to-1 ratio to where you're expecting 1/10 of an inch of liquid equivalent rainfall, but it leads to 3 inches of snow.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
One of the interesting setups that we have seen here in many years here across CSRA.
Yeah, so these are the other two models that we like to follow. It gives us more of a long-range outlook, GFS American and Euro. Euro seems to kind of fall in a little more with our graph. IBM with those higher totals from Augusta to Columbia in that 4 to 6 range. So yeah, it's just going to be a really dry, cold winter day for sure here. So we kind of just compare that model with the other global models. As far as the winter weather impacts, I mean, it seems to kind of line up with kind of almost how the winter storm watch is.
Exactly.
We see those moderate impacts going in.
Right. And the thing is, say you're one of those southern or western counties that's not underneath a winter storm watch just yet, you could definitely see a winter weather advisory issued for your area. So the threshold for issuing an advisory or a winter storm warning here in the CSRA is that in order to see a winter storm warning, we have to be expecting 2 inches or more of snow. That looks pretty likely for most spots. So I do think we do see winter storm warnings issued for that threat. Winter weather advisory would be expecting snow, but nothing over 2 inches. So it'll be kind of interesting to see how those kind of line up as we get towards closer towards the weekend. Here's just kind of a basic timeline of when we're expecting the snow to happen and also when that extreme cold should show up. So snow will begin Saturday morning. It'll just continue through the afternoon and even a good portion of our Saturday night, most likely. And then behind all this, we're going to see those wind chills down below 10 early Sunday morning. So extreme cold, I would imagine we do see some cold weather warnings issued across the area during that time frame. But then we do get the sun back and at least getting into the upper 30s Sunday afternoon. But that snow could actually stick around a good while.
Yeah, that's good chance right there. All right, we got a quick break. We're going to come back as we talked about the wind and the wind gusts and the wind chill values. We'll show you what that's going to look like in just a bit. wind gusts and the wind chill values is extremely cold that we're going to be looking at here. So we're going to go kind of start off when winds are expected to pick up a little bit more kind of into Saturday. We can start looking at the winds really starting to pick up as the snow bands, Riley, start moving in from the northwest. And that kind of from 7 a.m. all the way
and you can see how that wind
afternoon.
shifts from the east straight out of the north, so dragging down that really cold air with it. So by Saturday afternoon, we're expecting gusts over 20, possibly close to 30 in a few spots. You can see closer towards Macon and Atlanta, they're getting closer to those 40-mile-an-hour gusts out there.
That's going to hurt.
And
wow.
I mean, you're factoring in temps in the teens, gusts 15, 20 miles an hour. So that would lead to wind chills most likely between 0 and 10 across the area. So
yeah, this is about midnight Sunday morning, and as this goes in, that's about everywhere. That's just brutal. I mean,
wow.
I think 4 was in Washington, Georgia, when I was doing the morning show. You said Tuesday. It was Tuesday, right?
I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
Tuesday, and we had about 8 to 10? I think it was fluctuating here. So
Thompson got down to 7, Augusta got down to 8.
Unreal.
So most spots we're feeling below 10, but this is even colder than what we saw this past Tuesday. So I mean, what a cold winter and what a cold start it has been to 2026 so far across the area. And that thing with the thing is with those really frigid wind chills we're expecting Sunday, that is pipe bursting cold. So we're going to need to take those precautions, drip a faucet Saturday night, and make sure you are protecting your outdoor pets too. And obviously, we're going to have more updates on this weekend winter weather for you over the coming days, and make sure you are keeping it here for the latest.
Yeah. So this all leads us into Groundhog Day, which hopefully there will not be a shadow on Monday.
Right.
So there we go. All right, Nick Proto's up now with Fastcast. Thanks for joining us.